welcome to Whale Coin Talk. I know you're representing Infinity Gaming, and I want to get right into it. You guys, tell us a bit about your background in crypto to start off.
So the whole team has been sort of playing a role so our background is actually in Web 2.0. We've got experience building brands, particularly in the social media space, as well as in e-commerce, etc. And we've obviously been watching the crypto markets from an investment standpoint. And the team saw an opportunity, particularly in the niche of gaming, which is quite a large niche of there's 3.2 billion global players playing on various different devices, consoles, PCs, etc. And the market itself is 90 billion, and it doesn't look to be slowing down at all. The sub niche within the category that we're particularly focusing on at the moment to build up the awareness and the adoption is esports. And that itself is also $1 billion market, and it's ripe for disruption. So with all the experience we have in building brands, and particularly looking at the opportunities given with Web3 and DeFi as a whole, the goal is to leverage that and do something truly innovative and disrupt this industry in a way that hasn't been done before.
Okay. And can we get a little bit into the specifics of how you guys plan on doing that? So tell us a bit more about your project and how it works. I know it says world's first esports and DeFi platform, but kind of explain to us what that means.
Yeah, we're taking a phased approach, right? Rather than sort of the meme coin approach of saying, hey, look, we've got this grand vision, and we're working on it, and you have to probably wait another 6 to 12 months, if even it ever comes to fruition. Our goal is to build up the awareness and the adoption of the token, right? So we're sort of blending the audience between crypto and gaming. Gaming in particular already has a high affinity towards cryptocurrencies, decentralized assets, etc., right? Because they know they're purchasing in-game assets. So our phase one, sort of the master plan, is to leverage our sponsored tournaments. And we just had our first one yesterday, less than 7 days after launch. It was a 48-hour tournament. We went after RuneScape because there was a high affinity towards crypto, as well as sort of a very tight-knit community to prove out the concept. The tournament was a 48-hour sort of last man standing with a prize pool of $7,500. Mind you, that is huge for the franchise. Some of the comments we were getting were that, it's amazing that the franchise owner doesn't even provide tournaments as fun and as large of a sort of incentive as what we were able to do. So by continuing to penetrate the sort of Twitch streamers, particularly the streamer that we hosted the event with had about 210,000 subscribers at one given point. We were up to 3,600 real-time viewers, and the entire screen was sort of branded with Infinity Gaming and sort of education and information on how to purchase, and more so even just DeFi as a whole and what the project is about, as well as sort of the promise of future tournaments within that particular franchise. And so as we continue to expand and penetrate the gaming market, build up that trust and that reputation, we then have the opportunity to leverage a large and stable holder base, right? Because the key is to build up wide adoption and build up a sort of stable coin that can then be used for a sort of platform-based utility. And the ultimate goal is for us to build a sort of the equivalent of DraftKings meets gaming, DraftKings meets esports, a wagering system. So we will essentially serve as the escrow function between competitive gamers to wager and bet play tokens against their component, against themselves. They can earn it in that manner. And that's sort of the ultimate goal as to what we're striving for to achieve.
Okay, so the goal of the token is for it to be used as kind of a betting utility. Is that what I'm getting, or?
It's to an extent, right? It's sort of wagering, betting. I guess you can use them. They're sort of synonymous in this sense, but yes.
Okay. And can you explain a bit about the tokenomics?
Right. So the tokenomics, we've got 1 trillion tokens. We have a 10% tax. 5% goes to marketing, and that's primarily used for tournament prize pools and taking over the sort of Twitch realm as of right now. And of course, that expands from thereafter. 2% goes into the development wallet that is used primarily for the utility function of the wagering system. 1% goes into liquidity. 2% goes into liquidity, and 1% goes into reflections back to holders.
Okay, and is there a buy or sell tax?
Yes, it is. It is 10% on buys and 10% on sells.
Got it. And do you all plan on expanding to other chains? I know with Ethereum, there's really high gas fees. It sometimes creates a barrier to entry for the average user.
Yes. Right now, we're looking at sort of the low-hanging fruit exchanges that are widely adopted. And of course, the ultimate goal is to penetrate the much larger exchanges as the liquidity pool increases, as the sort of stability in the holder base increases. The goal is to get that out relatively quickly.
Okay. All right. And what partnerships do you currently have? Are they mainly with games outside of crypto, or do you have any partnerships with any of these play-to-earn games?
We're actually in discussions right now with a couple other project owners who want to sort of form a syndicate, sort of an aggregate, to build up a sort of combined effort between Play, Infinity Gaming, leveraging our tournament component, our sponsorships, our sort of viewership and holder base, and go into the play to earn model. See, the way that we look at play to earn is that it's largely fragmented. So unless a play to earn game can build up wide adoption, the earning component isn't going to have much value, right? If there's only 1,000 people playing a game, you really are dedicated to it, you believe in it, the chances of you earning a real living on that is largely unlikely. So the whole reason to sort of consolidate that is that if there's a unified and centralized token that represents the P2E space, then that has real tangible value. And whether you're earning it in your favorite game that's a 2D game, or whether it's all the way up to a AAA franchise, that's sort of the ultimate vision of how this can grow, and also how it can disrupt P2E as a whole. But for now, we're actually more focused on leveraging the AAA franchises and sort of the Twitch streamers who are playing really popular games, getting 40, 50,000 people that are viewing them real time with a long tail of 2-3 million views at any given moment. So the idea is to really bring in that adoption and simultaneously, build up the awareness of crypto and what we can bring to the table for gaming as a whole.
All right, I get it. I understand. So you guys are trying to kind of bridge over the utility of crypto into games that already exist. So gamers can play what they already like, and they can earn money doing that, as opposed to trying to have to push people into a game like Axie Infinity or D-Race or one of the other play-to-earn games that who knows if they're going to be around in the next 5 years. Games like RuneScape and World of Warcraft have been around forever.
Exactly. And so these gamers don't have a way to earn money right now. And our tournaments, yesterday there was a total prize pool of 7,500 that actually got extended because $1,000 were actually given to the two participants. So it really shows that there's real money here to be made. And as long as you are a competitive gamer, because that draws the viewership, that's where it's at. You're not going to get 10,000 people watching real time on a sort of P2E game that just kind of came out and doesn't really have a strong core audience as of yet. Not to say that they won't, and of course then the time will come where we will sponsor those tournaments and stuff. But for now, it's much more advantageous and a better use of capital to go into the bigger franchises where the community exists.
If I can jump in real quick and just to add on to that, we launched about 1 week ago, and within 1 week we were able to secure the biggest RuneScape Twitch streamer on Twitch. And ever since going live with him 2 days ago, we've grown our community from 1,000 Telegram members to over 1,400. We've got our Discord from 0 followers, close to 500 already. And we got our market cap to go up from 700,000 to 3 million, a little bit more than 3 million of an all-time high. So it's clear that the tournaments are something that the entire community loves, and our vision is to be able to sponsor every single streamer on the platform. So this was just our first tournament, and our aim is to do one a week, and we already are almost finalizing our next one for next week, which is going to be a much bigger game. So we're proving out the concept in real time, and everyone is being really supportive, from the streamers to their community to our community. It's a win-win for every single party involved.
Certainly, yeah. And what other games and kind of gaming communities and streamers are you guys targeting now? RuneScape is pretty big.
So go ahead. Next is Call of Duty, because that's what our community has asked for. So the cool thing is our project is community driven. So we asked the community what they want to see, and it was clear that Call of Duty was the next one that the community wanted to see, and they voted Call of Duty over League of Legends and a bunch of other games. So we're focusing on Call of Duty for now until we do another community poll and see what the community wants to see after that.
And your tournament participants, let's say they have no prior crypto experience, and the top 3 guys are getting paid in this token. Do you have a way or a platform of getting them onboarded and having them learn how to use it and having them learn how to make a wallet, so on and so forth?
Great question.
Go for it.
So, for example, the first tournament we did on RuneScape, the prize pool was paid in Ethereum, because we don't want to pay in play token right now until our market cap grows, because we value play tokens to be much more valuable than what it is right now. So we paid out the winners in Ethereum, and the streamer bought his own supply of play token right after the stream. He was telling people, basically, we were very communicative with his community of how to buy, bridging the gap of people to come in and buy. So in his chatbot, in his description of his live stream, there were clear instructions, video instructions that were basically telling people, showing people how to buy. So that's one really, really critical piece of feedback that we've been getting from the community and our advisors, to make it as simple as possible for people to understand, from not knowing about Uniswap, of how to getting Ethereum there and purchasing. But on top of that, I'd like to add that above all the communications of how to buy, it's clear to us that the most important thing right now is to really grow the community, not just of buyers, but just the community of our social channels like Telegram and Discord and so on. Because if you don't really know much about crypto, it's going to take you a few times to see Infinity Gaming to be able to buy. So right now, what we're doing is we're really focused on growing our core community and doing more and more tournaments and sponsorships. Because the way we look at it is, the first time you saw Bitcoin, you really questioned it until you saw it 10 times and you said, okay, let me really pay attention to this. So our thought process is, this is going to be a rolling ball. The more tournaments we do, the more sponsorships we do, the bigger our community is going to keep getting, and the more advocates we're going to have who are going to be able to educate the people who join our community, and the quicker our holder base is going to grow like that. So the name of the game for us right now is to really keep growing our core community to a point where Infinity Gaming becomes a really household name in the gaming space.
I agree. I certainly agree. It starts with the community, and it sounds like you guys are doing a pretty good job so far. What are some of the strategies you're using, marketing strategies, growth strategies you're using to do that?
So the biggest strategy is definitely the tournaments, because just this one tournament grew our community by double. So it's clear that our best investment is going to be tournaments. So we're doing other strategies too, but none of them are as effective as the tournaments. So we rather focus on making the prize pools bigger for the tournaments and getting more people involved there, because it hits on so many aspects. It hits on growing community, it hits on brand awareness, it hits on growing the holder base, it hits on partnerships, because we have more Twitch streamers who are working with us and partnering with us. Like, for example, the RuneScape stream, we started with that one streamer 2 days ago, but 10 other streamers wanted to join the event, and there were 6 other streamers streaming the event from their perspective because they wanted to be a part of this community event. So we do have other marketing strategies, but our most effective one is definitely the tournaments.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a huge network effect, especially when it comes to, streaming platforms like Twitch. One guy hosts another guy, and then go back and you see his YouTube videos, YouTube clips. So I think it's a great way of getting exposure. Can you tell us are you guys doxxed, by the way? I know a lot of people want to know if you guys are doxxed, if your enemies are online.
We are currently not doxxed. We are doxxed to the people that we work with. For example, the streamers. We're leveraging our real world connections and our real world brands to build this project. We want to use the doxing as a catalyst of growth. So it's actually a confirmed thing that we've assured the community that we will be doing, but we want to use it as a catalyst.
Got it. And who are your competitors in this space? Like who are some guys you're looking at and saying, hey, these guys could beat us to the punch, or maybe we should learn some stuff from this project that failed that's very similar to us. Can you tell us a bit about that?
So in terms of the DeFi, there are, right now there's a lot of capital from, big VCs, et cetera, moving into the P2E space. It's sort of a very fragmented ecosystem, as I've said. I think where we are competing and sort of our advantage is that we're taking a decentralized approach to something that's already being done by some of the larger gaming franchises. I think, if you look at it, and this sounds kind of, I don't want it to sound egregious, but Red Bull is certainly a competitor. And, esports leagues are certainly competitors. You look at some of the biggest prize pools in the era of gaming, within the last 5 years, you've seen things like $40 million prize pools drawing audiences and actual participants of hundreds of thousands of people. So I think when you look at it from the Web 2 standpoint, those are definitely competitors, but we are, in our manner and our approach, I tend to think that we are sort of first to market and going to leverage that first to market opportunity to build up a large enough market cap, a large enough stable coin and resilience through holders that we can then really come to play. And we will be on the top 10 of the largest prize pool tournaments in every gaming franchise, which is certainly only doable through the decentralized approach if you're starting from the ground up and you don't have 50 billion in capital to deploy.
Right on. And how are you guys planning on generating revenue? So, for example, I think it was Mike that was just talking, or no, not Mike, but who was your colleague
Chris.
That was just talking? Craig.
It was Mike, and Chris is right now on the phone.
Got it. And so he was saying that the prize money was paid out in Ethereum. Where is that money coming from?
That is coming from the 5% marketing and tournament prize pool wallet. So with every transaction that happens, it creates volume. So it's advantageous to us if they're ourselves, and it's more, of course, advantageous if we are getting buys, of course. But either way, it's creating consistent revenue flow that's going to build up the prize pools and make them larger and larger and larger. And we're being kind of very focused on making sure that those funds are allocated properly and utilized for the biggest network effect that we can get. Now, if you look into the future, though, as we move into the DraftKings of esports, of gaming, then you take more of a platform approach, and your whole goal is to build volume. The utility essentially acts as a volume driver, and you take a percentage of those transactions, thereby getting sort of the PayPal approach, right? PayPal makes billions of dollars by taking a small fraction of every transaction. That's sort of how you build it into a real business. And for now, it's primarily allocated to the marketing volume, the volume that comes through to the marketing wallet.
I got it. That makes perfect sense. So are there any questions that I haven't asked that you might want to address, or anything that you'd like to just say? Kind of leaving the floor open at this point to you.
I think I'd like to add one thing. We come from a background where we're very long-term thinkers. We're not here trying to build a project that just goes up to 100 million market cap overnight and dumps. We're here to build something that can surpass that long-term. So if anyone is interested in joining our community, we ask for people to be very long-term thinkers, because these tournaments, for example, they're not things that are done within one day. They take a lot of work. From strategizing what the idea of the tournament is going to be, from getting the talent, from coming up with an agreement, from marketing it, to bring in the community. There's a lot of work that goes on our end to put all the pieces together. And it's not things that are done within one day. So we want people to be long-term thinkers with us.
I agree. And that's the way to do it, slow and steady. And so where do you guys see yourselves in a year from now, if you had to ballpark it?
The ultimate sort of dream goal, the 1 year plan is to have penetrated the Twitch market, have represented some of the largest ongoing prize pools at the very least in 5 of the major gaming franchises, hosting weekly challenges, tournaments, and even offering things on the daily, so that it's even smaller prize pools, but allows for less competitive gamers and less popular streamers to take part. And ultimately, it's largely focused on building up the holder base. See, a project like this, it's successful because of the holding. It's successful because the investor type, the profile of people that are buying the token, are looking at it from an investment standpoint, the Buffett mentality, as opposed to, hey, look, another meme coin, let's ape in, let's see incredible returns for one day, but hopefully I'm not going to swing trade this, right? And that's going to happen. But if you have hundreds of thousands of holders who believe in the vision, you've adopted 1% of the total gaming market into the crypto and DeFi space, then you are assured to be successful. No swing trading is going to impact or drive the volatility that's going to scare people off, that's going to create, sort of FOMO, or sorry, FUD. All of that, it's irrelevant when you get to a large enough size. And of course, there's going to be ebbs and flows, but adopting and penetrating the gaming space and garnering the market share at the very least to 1% of the total viewership, as well as the creator space in that sector, we are going to see a very, very large project.
Right on. I'm going to open up the floor to anyone that has any questions about the project.
Hey, I have a question. So you mentioned Call of Duty, and I know like a lot of people are fans. Who do you have as your ambassador, or can you tell us who is going to be, or have people actually been approaching you now that you've announced it that it's going to be Call of Duty? Because I know the community for Call of Duty streamers and players is huge.
So we can't disclose, just because of the way that the contracts are with our partners. We have a very definitive timeline as to when we can disclose it, because there's a lot of sort of finite details. I cannot disclose names, but I can tell you that people have approached us, and the streamers that we're talking to are already bringing in their pals and buddies to participate in the tournaments and competitions, because the prize pools are quite large. It's not something that they see every day. And in terms of an ambassador, all of that is sort of done by the hosted streamer.
And of course, the name of the streamers will be released to the public before we even go live. So if that's something you're interested in, then please join our community, and we'll be giving frequent updates in there about once we can release that information very soon.
All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds super cool. Yeah, it's great that people are trying to bridge the gap to gamers because until you cash that crypto out to your wallet and buy some shoes with it or something, it's all pixels. And who better to target than actual gamers that sit in front of the computer every day? Yeah.
Yep. They're buying Fortnite skins. Why not buy something that has actual value and can grow over time?
Yeah, that's very true. And if they get onboarded to crypto via your token, then you're not just getting a potential diamond hand holder, but you're getting like free ambassadors all the time that potentially have a huge outreach. So that's super cool the way you're doing it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Anyone else? Well, I think you guys are doing something really cool here, and this has been a long time coming. The bridging between crypto and gaming. I think a lot of people that are gamers are also into crypto anyway. So it sounds like you guys are going after the right communities. RuneScape, Call of Duty. I think you might want to go after the WoW community as well. Fortnite.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think a lot of people in those respective ecosystems would really, really benefit from kind of not just the education you guys are giving, but also the exposure to crypto. And I hope all goes well with you guys and the kind of the bridging of the two worlds.
If anyone has any questions that they haven't thought of, feel free. Please join our community. We've got a very active group of sort of moderators as well as just helping hands from the community who really believe in the project. So if you don't feel comfortable jumping on the line and asking a question, please jump into our community, ask as many questions as you'd like, make them as hard as you'd like, make them as challenging as you'd like. And our community always entertains it, is open to giving you as much of our sort of vision as well as sort of our plans. And I want to just thank you guys for hosting. Thank you for your community. Thank you for having, thank you for doing something legitimate in the DeFi space. It is not the most frequent thing. So congrats as well to you for everything that you guys are putting together.
Thank you. Any other questions? Last chance before I close this up. Alrighty, well, thank you guys again for coming on. And if anyone has any questions, go ahead and join your Telegram. It sounds like you guys are going very fast. So be one of the first people in there.